Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is part 4 of the Camaro SS1LE rebuild. So, today's video is going to be an exciting one because today we are wrapping up the teardown process of this car with, of course, the interior. So, in this car, we have a total of 8 airbag components that need to be fixed, replaced. So, the airbags that are blown, both curtain airbags did deploy in the accident, as well as the steering wheel airbag and the driver knee airbag. And we also have the passenger seat airbag that blew in the accident, meaning that the airbag over here has to be replaced and the seat has to be sewn up again. Then obviously we have the airbag module needs to be reset because it has crash data on there, probably some hard codes as well. And both seatbelts did deploy. Now the passenger in this accident was not wearing their seatbelt. You can see here that the driver's seatbelt has some slack on it. However, the passenger seatbelt is completely locked into the wall. I had to disconnect the seatbelt so the seatbelt could move back and forth so I can work with it. But this thing is locked up tight against the wall. The seat airbag and the curtain airbag blew on the passenger and they weren't even wearing their seatbelt. So that probably hurt. So anyways, without any further ado, let's see what we're going to take out first. Alright guys, so getting a closer look at the airbags, you can see that the driver airbag is actually taken out. So I took this airbag out because when I was ordering parts, I wanted to see if the tabs were melted in there. And surely enough, they were. So I got those on order too. Those actually already came in with the other airbag because I got the airbag from eBay. So it came with the connectors. So luckily I didn't have to worry about that much. But yeah, it was pretty simple to get this out. There's just a hole right here on the side of the steering wheel. Another one right there. You're pushing your pin, you pull this top. Then that side comes out, then you put it on this side, you pull it out, and then the whole airbag just pulls out. It took a while to figure out how it works, but I got there and it's out now. Pretty simple stuff once you know, because most of these things, they look so hard, but you already know that it's a lot simpler than it actually looks. It always is simpler than it actually looks. So the driver knee airbag is also blown. That airbag is actually coming in today, I think. So that needs to be changed out. This airbag already came in. The seat belts also need to come out. These need to be taken out and sent out to Safety Restore so they can get those rebuilt. As well as the pretensionizers on the seat, those also need to come out. Then these current airbags, both of these are blown too. They need to come out. Yeah, let's take a look at the passenger side airbags. Okay guys, so you can see right here that the seat airbag is also blown. Yeah, so that whole piece is blown right there. That needs to be changed out. And then this whole seat needs to be reupholstered, stitched back together. So that's good, and luckily this car is designed in a way where the airbag sits in this little hole, and because some cars have it where there's a piece of foam on top of the airbag and the whole foam blows out with it, and then you have to replace the whole seat cushion basically. So luckily this car is not like that. They have a little compartment for the airbag in there. So again, on GM's part, that was a really good design for the seat. They're just really good with making these designs with their frame and the seats. They're just really good at that stuff. Then up here, this passenger airbag is also blown. So this needs to be changed out too. It looks like there's a little blood on there too. So that's what happens when you don't wear your seatbelt. And speaking of not wearing your seatbelt, this belt is locked up really tight. As you can see, it was locked up like this. There's no slack on that whatsoever. So there you go. They didn't wear the seatbelt. They got hit with this airbag and this one too, and they got a little bit of blood. So now let's take a look at some stuff that isn't blown but still needs to be cleaned. Alright guys, so coming into this gorgeous interior, you can see that right here there's a lot of dirt splatter for some reason that needs to be cleaned up. Probably will be steam cleaned and then wipe it off so nothing actually scratches this leather, because it's some really soft leather and some really nice leather. But then over here, this center console also needs to come out. These are pretty simple to take out. These are actually really easy to take out, these center consoles. The only part that I'm worried about is just this shifter knob tray assembly, because I just really don't want to damage that, because it's some really nice stainless steel looking stuff, but it is plastic. So hopefully I'll be able to get that out without damaging it. But yeah, then the shift knob is all Alcantara and everything. All this stuff kind of needs to be cleaned. It's a little bit dirty. Moving on into the back, nothing is actually damaged back here. It's super nice, just needs a slight vacuum. But you can see where the headliner kind of fell, and I'm super glad that it didn't crease anywhere. You can see it's completely smooth all the way through. So I'm super glad that the headliner didn't crease. So we're gonna, so the first thing we're gonna do is actually take out both of these seats, and then either take out the seats or the center console. I'm going to see how everything's assembled in here. but I don't want to scratch up the center console with the seat rails. So just to play it safe, we're going to try to get the center console out first. So take the center console out, then both seats. Then we take out all the side tray paneling and everything. Then we get out the seat belts, and then we drop the headliner and take out these airbags. And then we take out the knee airbag too, probably before we drop this headliner. But yeah, let's get to it. Okay guys, so I was trying to get those seats out because I have to move them back a little bit so I could get to the center console bolts, but I was thinking I could move them back because I can't get the seats out yet because the seat rails are covered by the seat itself, so you have to move the seat back. So long story short, this car has to have power for all this stuff to work because you have to back up the seat to get the seats out, and you have to back up the seats to get the center console out to get access to the bolts. So I'm going to try to put the fuse box back in here. Hopefully the car gets just power so it can move all that stuff off. The car doesn't have to be in a running start condition kind of thing. You can leave all that stuff unplugged, but hopefully we get enough power that we can at least move the seats and function the interior a little bit. So let's try it. Okay guys, I have no idea how I was able to reverse the wiring mess that was up here to get the fuse box connected up, but we have power. I had to put the fuse box back on and it didn't work, so I put the ECU back in, I wired some of that stuff down there back up. It was a lot of work, and I thought that this was all for nothing, but I connected up the booster box to this positive connector here, and there's this wire right here for the ground that I connected it up to. We have a super low reading. It's reading it. So hopefully... No way. We have power. Not sure what kind of power we're getting, but... check engine light on. Just one singular light. As long as the seats move. Dang it. We have to keep trying. Alright guys, I wired something else up. We have a little bit of a stronger reading, slightly dropping. It's dropping each second. Okay, but let's just hope. Not sure what that noise is, but it's kind of scary. I just need to get power to this thing. We have to keep trying. Oh, guys, we have power. Okay, it took so long, but there was this one little ground. I had no idea where it went to. So we were putting all the grounds together in this, like, I'll show you guys our little contraption that we made right here with all the grounds. But there was this one, we plugged them all together and the car was not getting the right amount of power. It was getting power, but not the right amount. And there's just this one big ground. It was huge. I totally forgot about it. I put it in. The check engine light that was on the dashboard cut off. It showed the mileage. It was amazing. Look at this. So we built this whole... We put this all back together. I connected up all the wires. It's so complicated. And here's all those grounds. So, look, so the car has 2.9 volts, which before when we plugged it up, it had like 1.2. So it has a lot more. You do this. No funky sounds. We got mileage. It shows the mileage. That beautiful 5,708 miles. Everything's lit up. Watch this. Yeah, we got power. That's amazing. Okay, so now we can finally take apart this interior. We have power. This is a super big accomplishment because all that was taken apart and it was holding us back so much. But now we can get this interior out, so let's take out the seats. Alright guys, so it was tricky because it's the first time I'm doing it on a seat like this, because this is a little bit different than a regular seat. There's 2 bolts in the back and that's it. There's no more bolts. Then I guess it slides back and out. So it's loose now. So I'm gonna try sliding it back now and seeing if that works. There we go. Alright guys, so the seat is out now off of its mount, so I can now disconnect the harness and take the seat out. So let's do it. So I went ahead and I took out this trim panel right here so it doesn't get scuffed up if the seat happens to hit it. I took out the bolt that had the belt connected to it. The seat is completely free. It is completely loose. No wires, no nothing. So I guess the plan is to just do it like this or something like that and like bring the top end out first and then just pop it out. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some weld blankets and some towels along this door sill and anything else that I don't want to get damaged just to ensure further protect everything so nothing hits it. I wanted to take that center console out first, but let's just do the seats and we'll put some towels and weld blankets on that center console so the seat doesn't hit it. Alright guys, so I got the seat out with no damages at all. Door sill completely spotless, rubber sill completely spotless, center console spotless, door panel spotless. Everything is completely spotless, nothing was hit. Steering wheel's fine, everything is fine. Nothing got hit at all. It all came out smoothly thanks to all those towels protecting everything. But as you can see, it's actually pretty clean under there. This carpet is really nice and soft, but now we're going to take out the knee airbag and then we'll move on to that seat and we'll do the center console. But let's get this knee airbag out. Alright guys, here's something very unusual that just happened. So these Chevy airbags, they're pretty easy to take out. It's just 2 bolts. But I guess when the airbag blew or something, I don't know what, but I guess with all the impact or the energy or whatever happened up there with the airbag erupting caused a vibration or something. This connector, I've never seen this before. The connector itself didn't melt, it just broke. Like, that is so unusual. So I do have to replace this. Thankfully I do have one of these, so we can go ahead and replace that later. And we can even replace these ones. We can go ahead and fix these because I already got started on them. So yeah, let's go ahead, now that we got this out, let's take out that passenger seat. Now this side should be a little bit quicker to take out since I have already taken out this seat belt piece earlier. So yeah, let's just go ahead, get those 2 bolts out, unhook it, and it should just come out. Okay guys, same thing on this side. Got the seat out with no damage at all. A lot of garbage on this side. There was a lot of garbage when we got the car on this side, so it's expected. This connector, actually, the one for the seat under here was broken, or it broke while taking it out. I don't know how. Just flip you flip the thing and then you would just pull it out, flip the thing, and it broke. So it must have been really brittle after the airbag or something. I don't know. But it broke, so we'll see that if we can repair it or what. But the seat is out right over here, so you can see this needs to be taken apart. This seat needs to be dismantled. The driver's seat does not. So this needs to be dismantled. It seems pretty easy. Got a couple zippers in there and stuff. Should be pretty easy. But yeah, this needs to be sent out so it could get stitched up again. But now that everything's out on the interior, we can actually take out the center console, the SRS module, and drop the headliner. So let's do it. Alright guys, so here's what we're gonna do. I got the center console popped off, but there's no reason for me to take it out all the way because we just need to take out the SRS module, which is conveniently placed right here. So I'm just gonna pop off the bolts of the SRS module and pop out the clips and take it out and then just set this back down in the spot. It should be pretty easy. So yeah, let's do it. Okay guys, so the SRS module is basically out, but one thing that happened was one of my screws actually fell under a mount down there. So I want to show you guys this cool tool I got. It's a magnet stick and it's made exactly for situations like this. So take a look. So made exactly for stuff like this. So there it is, the screws on the magnet sticks, and right over here is the SRS module. Now if you guys saw the rebuild video of my Chevy Malibu, you know that in that car, the SRS module was actually underneath the shifter, so you had to take the whole center console out. But luckily, this car is a lot easier. GM is just doing really nice designs on this car. So, yeah, got this out. So now next, we take out the seat belts. Should be pretty easy. And the side paneling, and we can drop the headliner. So let's seat this back into its place so it's not sitting on the seat like this. So we're actually gonna have to put the center console back in after the SRS module comes back, because if you can see in there, right there under the seat where you see some yellow paint, this part of the center console actually goes under the seat, and it acts like a latch, I guess, in a way, and it just sits down there. So when that comes, we actually have to pop this seat off from the bottom, or somehow maybe figure out a way to just get it back there again. So instead of doing that 2 times, we'll just do it once. So we'll wait on putting this back in. I'll just put like a rag or something up here so it doesn't make a mark in the seat. But let's get these seatbelts out. Guys, this is really hard stuff. So since the headliner fell down, it's really hard to get access to these pillar bolts to get them out. So thankfully the headliner is still not creased, as it will stay that way. But I have to pop out the seat bottoms, which is a lot of work. Like, it's just 2 little clips and you just pull up on them, but it's a lot of work because they're so stubborn. So I'm gonna try to get the seat bottom out. And then after I get this out, then we can take out this panel with the seat belt. Okay, I want to show you guys exactly how hard it was to take this seat belt out. So I had to take out that upper panel so I can pop this enough away from the wall. Then I pulled out the seat belt, the rear seat belt, put the panel there, folded down the seat. Then I had to pull out this carpet a little bit, take this box from the chassis wiring harness, pop it out a little bit, pop it over. And finally, now my wrench fit in there, and now it's coming out, which is good. So I don't think the driver's side has that chassis wiring harness block in the way. Should be slightly easier, but still equal amount of work. So I'm just gonna cut the camera and cut back to you when I get them both out. So let's go. Okay, so since the previous clip, it still took 20 minutes or so to get that seatbelt out. That big harness piece right there was getting in the way of my wrench, and it kept making it slip, and it kept like changing the little gear thing on the back of it to the other direction. But I finally got it out, and you can see here where it had exploded, or airbagged, or whatever you call it. So yeah, this belt's now out, so I can go ahead and pop this panel in a little bit so the seat doesn't get stuck like that. And let's get the driver's side out. All right, guys, so much work, but my brother helped me. He helped me take that back seat out. We tried a few different techniques. We found out that the screwdriver method against the hook actually works really well, and it doesn't damage anything. So it worked really well. And then we popped off the other part of the seat too, so let's take a look. Okay, so we have this backrest part of the seat actually popped off of its hinges now, so it's gonna come out, and there's the seat bottom all gone. So now we can actually take this panel off. See, it'll just come out, and that side is gonna be so much easier now to work on. Plus, it doesn't have that chassis wiring harness in the way on that side, so it'll be super easy to work on that side. So here, let me pull this out and let's get to work. Let's go, guys. We got this piece out. Super nice leather. It's actually really soft leather. All right, guys, so let's take a look now. So much more room to do things. It's so much easier now. Let me show you guys how easy it is to pull out the panel. It wouldn't pull out before because the seat was actually, it's one whole piece. There's no split in it, so you had to take that seat out to get this panel out. And as you can see, it actually just pops right up, and the seat bottom just pops into these clips. Alright guys, so I got the paneling out. It really cleaned up the place, makes it a lot more easier to work now. So thankfully now when we go to the driver's side, it won't be as hard. It'll actually be a whole lot easier. Yeah, so now that all that is out, we can finally move on to the driver's side. And I also, guys, we did get this to seat down into place. Since there's no seat, it's seated down into place. So that's pretty good. Now we can move on to the driver's side seatbelt. So let's go. Alright guys, so it's actually pretty late in the day now. It took a really long time to get these seats and this seatbelt out. But since all these seats are finally out, it'll be a whole lot easier and take a lot less time to take that driver's seatbelt out. So guys, I will see you tomorrow in the morning. Alright guys, so it is actually the next day right now. So let's go ahead and just jump right in and take this seatbelt out. Alright guys, so I got the airbag out, got the seat skin out. The whole seat skin is out. It just needs to be taken off the seat, but I can't figure out how to take this headrest off. So I'm going to do some research. Hopefully I can get this headrest off because the seat skin is ready to be taken out. And it was actually a lot easier than I thought. There was a little Recaro badge here that I was so scared to take out because I didn't know how it was placed in there. If it was part of the seat skin, if it was riveted, or I don't know what. But thankfully, I saw it move a little bit while I was working, and I realized that it was just clips. So here it is. It was just on clips. So I'm super happy about that. So yeah, let's get this headrest off. Okay guys, I figured it out. All the way down there is a pin inside of there. So kind of have to fiddle around with it, pushing that pin on this side and then on this side and it'll pop up. So let's do it. Okay, so two things guys. First thing, I was so relieved when that came out. Second thing, these little things in here, you can see, let me push it back a little bit. See that little metal ring in there? And there's one more right there. So I just took a tool like this, basically put it in there and you pull back on it. So then it kind of, you know, moves that pin right there that's in the middle out of the way, which is locked on to this right over here. The headrest will move up just a little bit, and then you do the same thing on this side and then it'll come out all the way. So before, when I was doing it, I was doing the right thing. When you take one of these out, headrest doesn't move much. So you think like it didn't unlock. So that's what I was thinking the whole time it was unlocking, but it's okay, now it's out. So we just grab the seat skin and pull it right off. And just like that, the seat skin is out and we can send it out to get repaired. Now that the seat is out, now that the skin is out, now that the seat belts are done, let's actually go ahead and drop this headliner. So I was able to get both visors out, but not the mirror. But that's no problem because there's actually enough room. Since the visors are out, there's actually enough room to actually work in here and put the new airbags up. As you can see, I got both old ones out. This one is more intact than the other one. This one they just tucked up, the other one they cut. But as you can see, I tucked up the headliner after I got the airbag out, just so it can reshape itself. Although it is pretty good anyways, there's no wrinkles or anything in it, so we're just gonna leave it like this so it can reform into its old shape, because it was drooping down for a long time. So let's just put it back up even though there's no wrinkles. Got the whole interior stripped out. Everything that needed to go is gone and all the new stuff can finally be installed. Once the seat belts and the seat skin get back, this interior can go back together and look amazing, because in my opinion this is a pretty good interior. It looks super nice. Alright guys, that is going to be a wrap for today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, subscribe, and I hope you guys learned something new today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.